I had the opportunity to go to the kids camp. Man, that was an experience. I needed it. I was angry again. And I was like, Lord, this was a time where God was telling me, love without being loved by others. You know, it was hard trying to show these kids love when I feel angry and unloved inside. It was so funny because when I went to the camp, I was put on the red team. I went with the thought, red is for anger. How ironic. And I left with the thought of red for the blood of Jesus. During that camp, I didn't focus on myself. I focused on the kids and showing them love. At one point, this kid I don't even know came up to me and just gave me a hug and was crying. I broke, man. Wow. I was like, holy moly. He needed my hug. I needed his hug.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Action.
What's up, guys? Long time no see. How are you guys doing? I can't even do this. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Pray About It podcast.
Yes.
So, where have I been? What have I been doing? It's just been busy. A lot of stuff has been, in the mix and just happening, and didn't say take a break, but it took a minute to just relax. But we're back, getting back into the swing of things. But I got a very, very cool guest here.
Oh yeah.
This guy's awesome. He's also my roommate.
Yes, I am.
If no one knows, but this is Matthew Castro.
Hello.
Woo! Claps,
Hello.
claps.
Clap.
I wanted to film this for a minute, but I've been lazy. That's literally it. I'm procrastinating. But just share about your whatever you want to say, your testimony.
Okay, yeah. I guess we can start with my testimony. Nikki, I'm not sure how much you know actually.
I know some things.
You know some
but there's some things that I should learn.
Well, I grew up in the church. My family was pretty involved. At one point, my dad was a youth pastor. But over the years, I kind of realized my faith wasn't that strong.
Yeah.
Mostly because it was all knowledge-based. It wasn't actually experience-based. And, as you get to high school, actually, let me start by saying, growing up, I had a lot of anger.
Yeah.
A lot of anger. And
why do you point that out?
Because it's a big part of where this goes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's a lot of anger towards people in my life. And it wasn't until high school that I started identifying the anger and making an effort to deal with it.
Yeah.
Now, as you know, one sin opens up doors to other sins.
Right.
And so this anger opened up doors to lust, to idolatry, and all these different things. To sloth. But as I went to high school, I started to really deal with this anger, break more out of my shell.
Yeah.
And I got thrown into dating life. And I did it here and there. I still kept close to my faith.
Were you always like an angry person? Were you always like an angry person growing up?
I felt angry. I felt like anger was the biggest experience I can recall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when I had no right to be angry, I was angry.
Right.
And I mean, it got so bad in middle school. I don't know if this is how you say it, but I started experiencing demonic presence in my life.
In middle school?
In middle school.
How did you realize this was that was what it was at the time?
Yeah. So like I said, I grew up in the church.
Yeah.
So I've heard stories about it, but I never thought of doing anything of it.
Right.
But depression and anger got me so bad in middle school.
Yeah.
I would just sit in my room and cry and read books, and that's it. And sometimes I journal, but nothing of importance.
Yeah.
But I remember, people might not believe me for this.
Okay.
But I recall just reading and feeling like oppression in my room.
Right.
And in the corner of my eye, I see something looking at me. And I got freaked out and ran out, told my parents, and like, hey, just pray. I started praying, and I never experienced it again. I experienced, what is it called when you freeze in your sleep?
Sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis.
Yeah, that stuff is scary.
That's
I've experienced that like twice. It's like I don't know for you how it was, but like it's like for me like a weight like onto you, and you literally like your blanket feels like 1,000 pounds.
Exactly.
And you literally cannot get up.
And yeah, the only way I got up was I said, in the name of Jesus, and I broke free.
I couldn't even speak. I don't know what it was. And like in my head, I was aware of it.
Yeah,
but, like,
you're screaming in your head. But
yeah.
You got to get to those words.
Yeah.
But that's when I realized like I need to make a change.
Yeah.
Right. And that change didn't really come in full force. It was just kind of like a subtle change. But when I got to college, I was like, I'm free. As most college students do.
Yeah.
They're free to do whatever they want.
Where was your mindset at the time?
I was like, okay, I'm picking a college that's close to home. I'm going to stay away from all this bad stuff. I'm just going to school, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to do drugs. Right? I'm just here for school.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, who you surround yourself with makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And I had random roommates, and these guys were not godly men. Right?
Yeah. It's like you are who you hang around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it didn't, I didn't do anything the first year. It wasn't until the second year where I said, okay, I'll try some alcohol. I'll try this with a girl. I'll do this. And, I started to drift farther and farther away from the Lord. It's hard going to a new place, trying to look for a church.
Yeah.
Trying to find those godly friends, especially when you're that age and you're swayed by all these other things that look enticing or look good. By youthful lust.
Would you say at the time you had like a personal relationship with God?
Yeah, I did. I did. It wasn't strong.
Yeah.
But it was there.
It's good that you identified that.
Yeah, no, I definitely did. I say that because I know people might say like, oh, no, you did all that. You must not have had any relationship. But no, I did because I felt convicted. I just ignored the conviction. Eventually when you ignore the conviction so much, it becomes quiet.
Yeah,
That's
true.
what I did. Eventually on my third year, I had a girlfriend, and again, not a godly woman. Did a lot of things together. I didn't drink that much, no drugs, but it's a lot of lust.
Right.
And I had to move down to Miami for school.
Oh, wow.
And I was alone in like this.
Was this, what year was this?
This was my junior year.
Junior year, okay.
Yeah, this was my junior year. It was, I was in Miami Gardens in efficiency. So it's basically just imagine your room with a little kitchen.
Right.
And a bathroom.
Oh, okay.
And
so it was all cramped up in one.
Super cramped.
Right.
In a shed in someone's backyard.
What?
Yeah.
Where'd you find this place?
In Miami. You can find anything in Miami. Yeah.
This is like Airbnb.
No, yeah, kind of.
Someone just rents their shed out.
Yeah, but no, for sure. Like seriously, yeah.
How much were you paying? It's supposed to like
$1,000 a month.
No way.
No, I'm serious.
For a little shed?
Yeah.
What?
Well, it wasn't a little shed. It's like a good size shed, but
bro,
it was a shed.
Now you're getting ripped off,
bro. Good luck finding good prices at any time.
I mean, I get Miami, the area, but like $1,000 for a little shed,
bro. It gets worse than that. It gets worse.
Dang,
that was good. That was really good.
Living the life.
I'm telling you, how we have it now here is amazing compared.
Yeah.
That was good. Trust me. Some places didn't have AC and we're still charging $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
But
I mean, as long as there's a roof under your head.
Exactly.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in that isolation and in spiritual isolation, I just crumbled. I started to crumble. My health started to deteriorate. My mental attitude deteriorated. My emotions were going crazy. And you know the Egyptians Egyptians in slavery, and they're like, Lord, take us out of the slavery. Take us out of the slavery. That was me.
Right.
After a certain point, that was me.
It's like you felt so isolated and like alone.
Yeah.
You were just stuck in your own thoughts.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
So that was me. And it's funny because sometimes God wants you to take a leap of faith and he's waiting for you to make a move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had to realize I'd make a move. So as much as I didn't want to, I broke up with my girlfriend at the time. And and after that I got a dorm back in Boca.
Right.
And I got out of Miami. Broke up with a girlfriend, and I just waited.
Right.
And the dorm wasn't nice either. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
If anybody knows FAU dorms,
Where'd you room?
UVA.
UVA. Oh yeah,
That's bad.
you're cooked.
Yeah. And there was this dog that they kept and just pooped all over the house.
That's wild.
And they didn't clean it up. And so the house smelled like poop entire time I was there.
Womp womp.
I know. It was freezing in that room too.
Yeah.
But I was out of, Egypt.
Yeah.
I was like in like the wilderness now. I'm like, I was thinking, man, maybe Egypt would have been better. You know what I mean?
I missed that shit.
I went through that whole story of like,
Yeah.
I was the Egyptian. I got out of Egypt. I'm in the desert. I'm like, what is happening?
I miss living in a guy's backyard.
I miss living in the backyard.
I want to be in the
I
shed.
miss my girlfriend. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
All that stuff. But I applied for a job. Actually, I applied for the job when I was with my girlfriend. Didn't hear back from them for a month.
Oh wow.
And a month after I broke up with her, I got a call saying, "Hey, we want to hire you."
Interesting.
Great. Like,
Strange how that door opened.
I know.
Right
Seriously.
after you let go of something.
And at this job, it wasn't until later that I found out. They actually told me that they didn't need me there. They hired me because of my smile.
Wow.
Who the heck hires someone because of their smile?
That's crazy. Hey, first impressions.
I guess so.
I don't like the guy, but he's got a good smile.
Got a good stretch smile, great smile. I saw the curly hair. Maybe that helps. But yeah, so I'm like, that was definitely the Lord.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on. I've got a nice smile, but it's not that nice, guys. All right.
You just shine. You just shine.
Yeah, and then Nathan decided he was going to move to Boca too.
Nate's his brother for
My
context.
little brother.
Yeah.
He's 3 years younger. And I was like, okay, I got to get everything in order. I cannot have him come down here and do what I did and drift away.
Set an example.
Exactly. I
Right.
got to build this fortress.
Yeah.
And so I really started diving into work, school, and more so my spiritual life and looking for churches. We went around looking for churches here and there, here and there, here and there. And I'm like, no, it doesn't feel right. It's not the environment I want Nate to be in. And it was actually here in our apartment complex. I went to go to the tennis court.
Right.
And there's this guy playing pickleball, just going hang, hitting the ball. And I'm like, hey man, can I play with you?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, sure, let's play. And we're talking, and he goes, hey, you should come to Victory Church.
Oh.
Like, okay, I'll give it a look.
Yeah.
I get home, I get a phone call from my mom, pick it up. I'm like, hey mom, what's up? And she goes, Matthew, I heard about a church called Victory Church. You should go.
Dang.
And I'm like,
That's wild.
we're going to Victory.
Yeah.
We're going to Victory.
Hey, two the same things in one day.
I know.
That's
nuts.
crazy. Yeah.
And
I want to point out something with that though. Like you being so open and like vulnerable to like go to a random stranger and be like, hey, can I play with you? Like that's so cool because people don't do that.
yeah.
A lot of people don't do that, and you're such an open character that like you're willing.
shucks.
No, but like you're willing to go out there and like, who cares? Like a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, I'd say it takes practice and training to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, you know me around the apartment, in like my most vulnerable states.
Yeah.
This
guy.
I'm wacky.
Yeah, this guy. The midnight zoomies comes in.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
But it's you got to just be an open book, portray that to everybody else. I try to as much as possible without being strange.
Right.
Yeah.
Work on it. It's work in progress.
It's a work in progress, guys. It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
For those of you who really know me, it's a work in progress. But so we went to Victory Church, and like, this place is nice.
Yeah.
Nate wasn't too into it at first. I'm like, you know what, Nate, just go a second time. Second time, he bawled his eyes out.
Yeah.
Pastor Donnie just unleashed.
When was this?
This was when he put the Bible on his chest and started reading scripture.
Oh, the weights.
The weights.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
We were in there, and Nathan was bawling his eyes out.
Yeah.
Bawling his eyes out. And he's like, we're going to go here. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
So now I tease him now. I call him an Israelite because I was like, let's go. And he's like, no. He's like, let's not do that. But I just tease him.
Right.
Because he complains. But yeah, so we went to Victory Church. I'm like, okay, what's the next step? You find a church, you got to get involved.
Yeah.
Let's join a Bible study. I'm looking, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, oh, freedom. Sounds cool. Boop. I came in that first Monday. I'm like, I have no clue what this is about.
Right.
None.
Yeah.
And I walk in there and like, okay, guys, so here's a book. I'm like, there's a book.
I have to read.
I have to do homework. More homework?
Yeah.
And it's $20. And I'm like, $20?
This is a scam.
Exactly. I'm like,
You just want money.
I'm a college student, and I can't pay $20. Here you go. and I gave him $20, and Mike was our leader.
Bro,
and he'll tell you.
Shout out to Michael. If you're watching this, you're a goat.
That guy's great.
You're good.
And he'll tell you I was quiet. I'm never quiet. You know
That's wild.
I was quiet.
I would not. I expect you to be the talkative guy in it.
Yeah, I was not.
Wow.
Right. But little by little, that started breaking down my barriers.
You were with Nate and John Carlos in this.
No.
Oh, you did your own.
This is before everything.
Ah,
This is
interesting.
before the group.
Yeah.
Right. And so it started to break down rejection, my fears, my shame was the biggest thing. All those years of kind of running away from the Lord and living life for myself brought so much shame, and that was just tearing it down.
Right. Why do you feel like people tend to run away from the Lord?
Because they think they know what's best. They think they have enough. They want control, or they think they have enough control over their own lives.
Right.
There's a reason. You know, desperate people look for a solution more than other people. Right. It wasn't until my lowest point of isolation that I said I need help. And in America, we have it so good that not many people do that.
Yeah.
Not many people admit they need help. Other places, you know, that's why I see such a rapid growth.
Yeah.
And here, unfortunately, it's not that. That's not the case. But yeah, people want to live their lives their own way. Their pride gets in their way. They become their own idols, their own gods.
Yeah.
And the reality is they can't manage their life because they're not God.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible to do.
Like once to the point where it becomes like you surrender, and like you said, admit that you need help.
You need help.
You need help. Like I realistically, like we try to do so many things on our own, but we end up making things worse.
Exactly.
Like yeah. But when it comes to that final surrenderance, I think that's when God's gonna start to move. You're because you're letting Him.
Exactly. Like you allow Him to move. You give Him the opportunity to. But yeah, what was I? Freedom. During the Freedom Conference, I prayed to let go of shame, and that was granted. Which is why I'm so openly able to talk about this now. I know a lot of people aren't comfortable talking about their testimonies. Yeah. Once you do it once, it becomes easier. Yeah. Guys, break out of the shame. You know, it's just gonna hold you down. There's nothing Nick has gone through that I haven't at least touched a little bit, and vice versa. Yeah. He may have some experiences I can't relate to, honestly, but I can relate to the emotion that comes with it. Yeah.
There's power in testimonies.
Exactly. But yeah. it was during the conference. I had a lot of timidity. I hate that word. Timidity.
Timidity?
Timidity.
Timidity.
That's how you say it, believe it or not.
What is timidity?
The feeling of being timid.
But why don't you say intimidity? No, that's not a
No,
word.
that's not a word. That's not it.
Intimidated.
It's timidity. It's
Timidity?
yeah, timidity.
Timidity.
Timidity. That's what it's called. I know. I couldn't believe it.
Timidity.
Timidity.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Good
didn't
luck
know
saying that 5 times fast.
Timothy.
You can't.
Timothy.
No.
Anyways.
But anyways, back to this story.
Yeah.
I was praising the Lord, and I do this now if I want to, or if I feel called. But back then I wouldn't do it, even if I felt a call. I wanted to go up and praise God in the front.
Right.
And I'm not the kind of person to do that usually. But it got to the point where I couldn't deny the presence of God any longer. And I just went up to the front. And I started praising him at the front, which is crazy for me at the time.
And this is at the conference.
At the conference, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like ecstatic. I praised the Lord in the front. I was bold about it. I didn't let, my timid nature hold me back. My shame hold me back.
This was around the time when a lot of people were getting baptized, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was powerful.
Yeah.
It was very powerful.
I got baptized actually after Freedom. Again, I was baptized as a kid. Didn't really understand it.
Yeah. Once it becomes, there's gonna be a lot of people that disagree.
Yeah, I know. You guys are gonna disagree. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, but like I feel like once, because I was baptized when I was little too.
Yeah.
I was a baby, but like it wasn't a conscious decision that I made for my own.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's when we make those conscious decisions and decide that we want to make that public declaration of surrenderance.
Exactly.
That's when it's really powerful.
It's like you coming into a house and be like, okay, guys, I'm here, leaving for years and come back and saying, I'm back. That's what it is. Right, that's how I see it.
Why hospital?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. And then I got approached and they're like, hey, do you want to lead a freedom group? I'm like, no, I don't. I do not.
I don't want too much.
I am not qualified, I said.
Powerful words there.
No, very powerful words there.
Yeah.
And eventually I came to the realization that no one's qualified. Moses was not qualified. Right? And for those of you who don't know, I love Moses. I love that guy. I love the whole Exodus story. But, I look up to Moses a lot. But Moses was not qualified. And so I did it anyway. I'm like, I hope, it's with a bunch of old guys again. I was the youngest in my group last time.
Right.
Please let it be with old guys. I am not good talking to the younger generation, especially my peers.
Right.
And they labeled my group as the young adult group. I know, young men's group.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no way.
Right.
There's no way this is happening right now.
Yeah.
And so during this whole process, it was me building up courage and letting go of fear. And that's what I asked God for during that time, to let go of fear, build up courage.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the freedom group before conference, I let go of my fear, of everyone in that room. I was like, wait, these guys aren't scary.
Yeah.
They're just guys.
Yeah.
And I'm younger than most of them.
Yeah.
But they're still just guys.
Yeah. That's it. We're all at the end of the day.
We're just guys.
Yeah, we're just guys.
You know what I mean?
Guys who just seek the Lord.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that fear, I really let it go before conference. And during conference, I was just praying nonstop for all these guys I had mentored. When it came time to worship, without, I went to the front on my own, with courage.
Yeah.
And I was ecstatic. I was so happy. I was like, no way. I did this out of courage. I didn't, I wasn't being shy in the back.
In faith.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And and I was looking back at these guys all back in their chairs, and I'm like, there's no way they don't feel the presence of God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, guys, let's go. I'm waving like time to come.
Pause. I just want to add context, because for those of you who don't really know what it's like to feel the presence of God, how would you describe that?
it's like a pull on your heart. It's like a pull, and it's like when you cry, you know you're gonna cry. You feel it coming, right?
Yeah.
You feel that emotion like come up and like reach your eyes, and you feel like the tension. It's like that, but it's something like in your chest.
Right.
It's like a pull. It's like something building,
Yeah.
and like you want to, and you could hold yourself back if you want, but if you just let it go and go with the emotion, or go with, in this case, the spirit guiding you,
Yeah.
you reach that,
Right.
then you had that experience.
That's huge.
But yeah, so I waved to these guys. I'm like, let's go, come on, because it's something I wish someone would have done for me. And I look back and I keep praising God, and when I turn back around, everyone's there behind me.
Yeah.
And I just started crying. I was like, dang, these guys are way better than I was. They came, man.
Yeah.
They came at just me waving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe some of them didn't see me. Let's be honest. There's a crowd. Maybe some of them didn't see me.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, it goes like just more justice to them.
Right.
Because they're better than me at that point. My first freedom group, I was, the Lord had dragged me out there.
Yeah.
These guys went, and man, it was emotional to see that happen, and to see me go from being fearful to having courage to being encouraging.
There's like a thing where it's like you can't have fear and something like have faith at the same time. It's like something like that.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is going to have
Like you
fear.
could have fear, but like no. It's like you can't be anxious and be excited at the same time. Like something like
Never
that,
heard that.
in that range. And
Interesting.
there's like
Well,
I don't know what it is.
here's my take on it. You can't be courageous if you're not scared.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Shout
Might have
out-
worded that wrong.
Shout out to what's that movie called? The dinosaur movie. Oh man,
Jurassic World.
no, it's an animated Pixar movie.
Oh,
Anyway,
The Good Dinosaur.
yeah, I think so.
I don't
Something
know.
similar to
I'm
that.
surprised I got that. I never watched that movie. I just
Yeah.
remembered a dinosaur that was good.
Yeah, shout out to that movie.
What did that teach you?
Oh, the courage thing.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what did that?
Yeah, the T-Rex is like, yeah, I was scared doing it, fighting the croc. So that's where that came from, guys. Just so you know, I'm quoting a Pixar movie.
Good fact.
But yeah, and after freedom, I was invited to join the young adults leadership, and that was cool.
Yeah.
I actually was scared of young adults the group.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. For the longest time, I did not want to go.
Well.
I was like, everyone here hates me. Everyone here thinks I'm just, I'm super awkward and quiet, and they don't want to be my friend.
Wow.
And
not.
Actually, Frank,
yeah.
if you see this, and JP, I thought you guys didn't like me.
Wow.
I know. And when, I talked to JP, I'm like, I can't believe I thought that. It was like my own fears trying to, weigh me down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And man, that was crazy. But I mean, I started acting like myself, goofy.
I feel like you adjusted quick though.
I guess I think I did.
Like you and Nate.
It was day and night switch.
Yeah, like you and Nate definitely like became like at the time the like yes men of the group. Like you guys were just like down for whatever, like let's do it. I'm down. Come on, bring it on. Like
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys brought the energy.
That's so funny. Yeah, people don't describe me as energetic, mostly because I'm next to Nate.
Oh,
And
that
Nate.
is true. Yeah.
Nate is
it might have been Nate. It might have just been Nate.
It was Nate for sure.
Yeah.
They told me I was wise, and I'm like, I guess. Whatever that means.
Yeah.
How do you judge that? I don't know. But if they see it, I'll take their word for it.
Yeah.
But that was a blessing to be a part of that. I had the opportunity to go to the kids camp, and I don't know the name of these kids. I have no idea these kids, right?
Kids that can't.
But man, that was an experience, and I needed it. At the time, I'd broken up with my girlfriend, a different girlfriend now, and I was angry again. And I was like, Lord, this was a time where God was telling me, love without being loved by others. And I
That's
felt
big.
unloved,
Right.
majorly unloved.
Yeah.
And it was hard. Trying to show these kids love when I feel angry and unloved inside. I didn't want to go. And I actually had to give like a little testimony or like a message on this
Yeah, you did.
in young adults.
Yeah.
And I said, it was so funny because when I went to the camp, I was put on the red team. And I was like, red for anger. Yeah.
That's so weird.
And like, how ironic. He loves that quote. Red for anger.
Because I'm angry.
So cringy to say out loud, but yeah, that was my perspective. Like, how ironic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Off topic. Sometimes I think of like life is kind of like books and movies where you see that symbolism and things. And in this case, this was one of them. I went with the thought, red is for anger. How ironic. And I left with the thought of red for the blood of Jesus. Thank God.
Yeah.
During that camp, I didn't focus on myself. I focused on the kids and showing them love. And at one point, this kid I don't even know came up to me and just gave me a hug and was crying. And I broke, man.
Wow.
I was like, holy moly. He needed my hug. I needed his hug.
There's something about seeing a child that just automatically brings purity.
Yeah, I mean, there's this innocence.
Yeah.
There's this innocence that even if it's not there, that's supposed to be there. And when the fact that it was corrupted or it was stained is brought to light, it breaks your heart. It really does.
Yeah.
I mean, some kids should not go through some stuff.
Yeah. 100%.
Whether it's I won't go into it, but just like a wide range of topics.
Yeah. No matter what your childhood affects you.
Oh, hopefully, the ideal situation should be mother and father in the home that that are always pursuing the Lord first, and putting their kids above themselves.
Right.
That's not always the case, and that sucks.
Yeah.
But I came with one perspective, left with another, and I was.
That's so big, because it's like different, like same thing, but at the end of the day, you went through something,
Exactly.
and then it's a different point of view.
Exactly.
Like, as cringy as it sounds, red for anger, but then you realized, like, you saw that from a mature and spiritual perspective, and you realized the only thing that matters was Jesus.
Yeah. Because the truth was, I was focusing on myself.
Yeah.
I was saying what I feel, how I see this is the right way, instead of my spiritual lens. And that is entirely the wrong way to look at things. Whether it's forgiveness, compassion, love, whether it's anger or greed, or revenge.
How do you view more, like, how do you at least try to view everything with a spiritual lens?
It's a matter of, first of all, you need to know what's right and wrong, because there is an objective right and wrong.
Yeah.
And you need to know what the Bible says about each topic. Then you need to put that into practice with small things, eventually bigger things.
Right.
Then have a support group that calls you out when you're doing it wrong. You're one of those. Nathan's one of those. John Carlos is one of those.
Yeah.
And I expect you guys to call me out when I'm doing something wrong, or if I'm not looking at it in a spiritual lens.
Right.
And that's just it. It's practice. The more you do it, the louder it becomes. It's like you just bought yourself glasses. You need glasses. You just bought them.
Yeah.
You're gonna forget them every day.
True.
The more times you start putting them on in the morning, first thing in the morning, the easier it'll become a habit just to put them on. It's the same idea.
Better your vision comes.
Better your vision comes.
Yeah,
You see things more clearly.
Interesting.
And that's how it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, perspective change. seeing things through a spiritual lens. If you're not doing that, do that. I know it's not easy. Someone comes and shoulder checks you. You know, don't turn around and be like, "Yo, what's up?"
Tuck him in the face.
You know, like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Even jokingly, I mean, oh yeah, man, I would have messed that guy up. No, don't do that. Don't even say that.
That's true.
It's
Bro, lately, I'm not gonna lie, I've been wanting to get in a fight.
that's bad, Nikki.
It is bad.
That's bad.
No, I know it's bad.
Okay.
But like my flesh is just like, bro, fight someone. Like the other day when we were on a walk, and like I'm not gonna get into detail, but there was this guy, and then whatever. And then I wanted to fight though. I was ready to put my hands up.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, that's not godly.
Well, yeah,
I gotta deny that.
yeah, that's the flesh. That's the flesh.
Yeah.
And fighting under sport pretenses, I don't think is wrong.
No.
Or just messing around. Like, you and me will mess around and wrestle and get put into each other in headlocks all the time. That's fine.
Yeah.
If you want to wrestle, let me know.
He's like, I'll fight you.
Yeah, fight you right now.
Yeah.
On camera.
Guys, if who gets 10 likes, we'll fight.
A whole match and stuff. But yeah, stay away from that.
Yeah.
I was the same way. I mean, growing up, I was like, I want to get into a fight. I never had the opportunity to.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, fights just didn't come my way. It was more like fights came my siblings' way,
Right.
and they avoided me. I'm like, that's stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's just a test to anger. But yeah, so now here we are. School has started up again, and I'm once again finding the balance between spiritual life and school, going back and forth. School's like, focus on me, and God was like, focus on me. And I know what I need to do,
Yeah.
and it's a matter of putting into practice, not getting distracted. And that has been the biggest struggle right now. It is not getting distracted by school because it's so demanding of my time and my effort and my attention.
Yeah.
And so I've been putting things in place to manage that. And I'm really trying to hear God's voice again. As clearly, as I heard it when I wasn't, during summer break. The more distractions in life, the harder it is to hear his voice. And when he's so close to you, he's not going to yell at you. He's going to whisper.
Yeah.
So you need to be quiet. You need to set that time aside to listen for a whisper. And that's where I'm getting to now.
Right.
And, I'm almost done with school. 5 years. Holy moly. In the making.
Well,
Don't do architecture. Do not do architecture, guys.
no.
It's a scam.
You could do it if you have passion for it.
Be careful, though.
Yeah.
It's a scam. 5 years is crazy.
Controversial topic. College is a scam. I didn't say it.
Yeah, that's controversial.
No, if you enjoy it, then do it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's a good way to connect. It's hard. I mean, here's my perspective. It's hard to transition from having forced connection in high school and to having no connection at all.
Right.
College is a good transition.
Yeah.
You have some connection.
Yeah.
It's up to you to build your connection.
Yeah.
So now that I'm almost out of college, I'm about to start my whole career. I'm trying to figure out, how does that work? How do I build these relationships in a way so when I'm out of school, that initial contact with others won't be there. I have to make an effort for it.
Yeah.
How do I dedicate time to God? Once school's out of the picture, work becomes a focus. It's never ending.
Yeah.
Life is, society is demanding of your time and your attention. How do you change that for God's purpose? Don't be just the guy at the desk, going home, waking up, desk, going home, waking up, desk, going home. It's not.
That's the number one thing that I understand. Work is work.
Yeah.
School is school. That's important. But I don't want to be a slave to society.
Slave to the rhythm.
What?
Slave to the rhythm.
I don't know that.
That's a song.
Oh. But I don't want to be a slave to society. You know what I mean? Life is so much bigger than that.
It is.
There's so many opportunities.
And believe it or not, people struggle with that a lot.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of phone calls about that, asking about that. And it's like there's not really a clear answer because I don't know the answer.
I feel
Ask
like
the Lord.
No, exactly. That's a big thing because like obviously we're fortunate enough to have like the right people
Yeah.
and community, and we're blessed with a lot of things.
Yeah.
But like unfortunately, there's a lot of people who got sucked into the 9 to 5 job, and
Yeah.
you got to do this, you got to do that. How do you think people, trying to word this right, how do you think people should try to find faith when they're so sucked into life where there's no faith anymore?
Here's the issue. Why do you work so much? You work so much for what? For money.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need money?
To live.
To live? No, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real. You don't need money to live.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
To live a life with all of the small things you want, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But in replacement of money, I say, have the Lord.
Mm.
The one who provides,
Mm-hmm.
the one who gives you what you need.
Yeah.
Not all the time what you want, what you need.
Mm-hmm.
And if he knows you can be trusted with what you need, he can give you stuff you want.
Mm.
You understand?
Yeah.
That's the issue. People go to 9 to 5 because they rely on themselves for stability, for a good life.
Right.
And then they run themselves into the ground.
Right.
So if you're looking for faith in the midst of that 9 to 5, start small, incorporate small things into that. Put a Bible verse on your screen, read it out loud. On your breaks, read your Bible. Go to church, tithe. Please, please, please tithe. I know it's a crazy topic and people don't like it because the church cannot have my money.
Yeah.
No, tithe. It's not for the church. It doesn't have to be to the church.
Yeah.
Tithe to something that furthers God's kingdom. And start with your time if you want to, and then move to your finances.
Yeah.
My finances were unstable until I started focusing on the Lord. That's when I got the job.
Right.
This great job that allows me to put time aside for the Lord. I mean, I've never had that before.
Yeah. And it's big too because it's just like it's just that simple prayer.
Yeah.
And but at the end of the day, like your heart needs to want it too.
Yeah.
Like, and it's hard to, get in that habit because then again, like, fear will get in the way.
Yeah.
It's gonna get in the way in a lot of things. But that's when like your faith needs to come and overcome that fear.
Exactly.
And just be like, it's okay to be vulnerable with God. That's okay. That's what He wants us to do. Like it's not someone in the sky that I'm just asking all the time, Lord, can you give me this? No. It's not a relationship, but it's just like being vulnerable and open, telling God, Lord, I need help. That's a huge thing in your testimony because when you got to that point, that's when you became open and vulnerable. And then He gave you that job and then you worked from there.
Yeah. And you're right. It's vulnerability and it's heart posture.
Yeah.
It's the want for it. That's what it is. And any relationship, you don't keep relationships around because you don't want them. You don't care for them. You keep them around because you want them. And God's not going to give you everything you want, but He'll take care of you. It might be uncomfortable, but He'll take care of you. So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I'm about to graduate. I am figuring out what God wants from me next. I have an idea. I'm just gonna take a leap of faith and pray about it and take a leap of faith.
Do you know what it is?
Huh?
Do you want to talk about that?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. To be continued.
To be continued.
To be continued that.
But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's crazy. That's all from maybe when I was 7. So it's from 7 to 23.
Yeah. So the biggest thing for you was overcoming that anger.
Anger.
Yeah.
Overcoming the anger. Going to running away from God. Right? Dang, I sound like Jonah. Running away from God. Going to the lowest of the low.
Yeah.
Coming back. Being obedient. And yeah. And him guiding me and guiding my path, blessing me. Dang. It's like Jonah. And Jonah is a whiner, guys. He's a whiner.
Hey, that's just showing a lot. Huh?
I know.
That's convenient.
I know. It's super convenient. That's so bad. I want to be Moses. Jonah, Israelite. Yeah, but of course, I'm not perfect. I make a whole bunch of mistakes.
We all do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not the most structured guy.
Yeah.
Carlos is definitely up there.
Right.
I'm not. I'm more free flow, go with the flow, which just makes it harder for me to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And eat.
But I feel like that's why, like, I'm doing 75 hard right now. So I got more into that and other things, but I'm on. Excuse me.
You good?
Can you hear me? Yeah, it's fine. I don't know what that was. But like, I'm on like day 20 something, and as right now, it's fun. Like, it's good. Now I'm starting to, feel the temptations come. There are times when I'm at work and I see a fat piece of cake and I just want to vacuum it,
cake.
But you don't like cake?
No, I hate cake.
What?
I'm not a big sweets guy. You know this. I like cookies and brownies and chocolate, and that's it.
That's crazy.
But it needs to be like dark chocolate.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not a big cake guy.
Wow, I didn't know that. But like, there's times when it comes in, but at the end of the day, like, it's adding structure in my life. I'm waking up earlier. I'm going to sleep earlier. And I'm being productive.
Yep.
But like, I can add that to my spirituality and my walk with God because it's adding structure. It's making me read His Word, even though there are times when I don't want to, but I know I need to. It's just adding those things.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
spending time with God, relying on Him. It adds a lot. Like,
it's definitely something needed for guys. It's a necessity for guys to have some structure and to be able to build your own structure.
Yeah.
You don't need to be like, at 9 o'clock I'm doing this, 10 o'clock I'm doing this. But you need to know where where the important things lie.
Yeah.
What comes first? God, family, others, and yourself. I say others because that's the truth.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be second or third on the list. It's hard, but that's the truth.
Right.
A lot of people say, I want to be happy. I want to be fulfilled. I want my life to go this way. I want. And then when someone was in reality is an inconvenience comes along, they run. That's not how you're supposed to act.
Yeah.
It's annoying, but it's the truth. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, sometimes we'll get what we want. Most of the time we'll get what we want, and then after we're not satisfied. And we're going to continue to want more and more until nothing is never enough.
Because it's never enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Satisfaction is like, it's something, being fulfilled and satisfaction is a hard topic because in reality, nothing of this earth will ever make you fulfilled or satisfied. Only God can do that. And I mean, satisfied, I hope you want more and more of Him. I hope you want more and more and you can't get enough, like the fire's raging.
It's about being comfortable. You can't be comfortable.
No, don't get comfortable.
Yeah.
You're never...
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, if you're comfortable, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're a static character, and that's bad. Those are bad in books. You don't want those.
Don't be a side character.
Don't be static.
Don't be static.
Yeah, like I told you, I attribute a lot in life to books.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot to books. And
that's something I'm trying to force myself into, just trying to read more, because I never liked reading, but I know it's important and I like to learn.
Yeah.
But I don't like to read. So I got to do something here.
Yeah, I used to read a lot as a kid. Not anymore, really. But I read out of enjoyment. I used to read like a couple books a week. And I was a fast reader, but like a lot of the interactions with people and the way I see how they behave, I attribute to those stories. And still, I think in those stories. Right? Like, hey, why did this person make this action? It's probably because of A, B, or C.
Wow.
And then what were the results of that action? Okay, so then how would that affect the next person? That's like that's storytelling.
Yeah.
That's all it is. For instance, I had a friend who started to act out once he was given a lead in a play, and no one could figure out why. This guy that was so docile and so timid was given a lead, and all of a sudden became crazy,
Yeah.
and like bossy and rude. Like, what? What's the sudden switch? And I'm like, I know why. It's because he's scared.
Wow.
He's scared. I mean, like, heroes and villains. What's the difference? One acts out of fear and selfishness, and the other doesn't.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
It's perspective.
It's perspective,
Yeah.
right? There's some things in life that just like it's symbolism, like the red. It's symbolism. You get those in stories. You get those in poems. It's funny if life acts like that.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. I mean, the poems have similes and they have metaphors for a reason. It's not just because someone made it up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's deep.
Is it?
That, to me, that is.
Okay.
Like, that's like a whole different perspective on
Yeah.
a lot of things. Like,
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, like, in my life, a lot of decisions are fueled by the music I listen to. And that is
say it again.
a lot of decisions are fueled by the music I listen to.
Say it one more time. What?
A lot of decisions are fueled by the music I listen to.
Why?
Because music has power. Words have power.
Yeah.
What you ingest has power. And if you're not ingesting the right thing, you'll start thinking the wrong thing. You'll start doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So be very careful what you ingest. But yeah, I mean, you'll start to see, like, everyone's life might be different. You might not see it this way, but I see things like songs I end up hearing parallel my life.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah.
There's like, I mean, the way I used to look at it, high school or something like that, I'd be like, all right, certain season in my life, for example, there's a song that would apply to that certain time in my life. You know, I'm sure a lot of people are like that too.
Exactly.
Like, or like something, a smell or a scent brings you back to a certain time in your life.
Exactly.
You know, like, that's very interesting.
I know,
How that works.
If you look for it, you'll see it more.
Yeah.
Right? You'll start to notice. It can be as simple as you drink a cup of tea and it's lukewarm, and it correlates to an experience you had where it was lukewarm. I mean, do you finish the tea or do you throw it out? Right?
Dang.
Me, I'm the type to just finish it.
Yeah.
And be done with it.
Yeah.
Some people won't even will ignore it and throw it out.
Huh.
And that's kind of, I think it reflects how you view the situations that really are kind of awkward.
Yeah.
They don't have a good ending or a bad ending. It's just kind of, are they, like, I don't know. I had a similar situation with a friend in high school. But yeah.
I just want to ask, like, one last time, like, if there's what, for a new believer who's watching this or wants to start their walk with God, what would it?
I'm just smiling. Okay. Do I look funny, guys?
I'm saying.
Take 5.
For someone who knew.
I didn't do anything.
But this took so many takes.
Take 6.
Bro, I'll be straight up and vulnerable. We've been trying to retake this ending because it got blurry and then the audio didn't go through. Okay, but for anyone who wants to start their walk with God or doesn't know how to, what's like good advice? You know,
I would say find a community. I've said it before, literally.
Yeah.
But it takes a village to raise a kid, and you are a spiritual kid, spiritual baby.
Yeah.
It will help a lot to find community that honors God, seeks Him out, and strives for your spiritual growth. It's super important. That's what made a big difference in my life. That's why I'm here with Nikki right now in this apartment that God gave us. And that's why I think our spiritual lives continue to prosper because a large part of it is community. They keep you accountable, keep you, they can keep you on the right track.
Yeah.
Also, read your word, seek after God because He's seeking you out. He wants you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Get that poster.
Yeah, exactly.
I want you.
That's what I was referencing. I was doing that. Yeah.
Telepathy. Okay. Cool. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video. This video gets 10 likes. I'll wrestle Matt.
And okay, in the chat, put who you think is gonna win.
Yeah. Who do you think is gonna win? It's probably him. All right, love you guys. Take care. Goodbye.
Hasta la vista.